Hi guys, welcome back to my small talks. I hope everybody's having a good day and a good start to the week. Cool, let's get into it. So this small talks is all about saving. I am so quick to spend my peas. It's like fire in my hands, like literally. So I wanted to be able to give you lot a couple of tips on how you can save, how you can budget, how you can make sure that you're not just excessively spending because you can. So one of my ways so that I cap my spending is I give myself a weekly budget. So I used to take money and like just put it into the account with my card and the rest like separate it, but recently I've come to a better way of working it out. I physically take cash out, and whatever the cash is in my hand, that is what I spend. Everything else just stays at home. My card stays at home. The only thing is I have Apple Pay, so I have to actually just have some self-control and not just spend unnecessarily. So yeah, I physically take out cash and that is my weekly budget. Whatever that is what I spend, and there's no way around it really. I'm also a very, very organized person. Like I'm very meticulous when it comes to certain things. So I know when something is coming out of my account. I know what bills are coming out. There's no shocks for me. So at the start of the month, I write down all of the things that are going to be coming out of my account. So like phone bills, anything else, like literally I write it down, and generally it's the same every single month. So I have it on a piece of paper so I know total what my outgoings are, and if there's going to be anything else or if something goes up, then I'll amend it so I know exactly how much is coming out of my account. So that just enables me to know that at the end of the month I'm not like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this insurance or I forgot about this. I already know. So I think that's a good way to be able to be in control of your finances as well. It's just making sure that you know what's coming out of your account so that you can put that amount away so that it can just come out without you knowing that you can't touch it, sort of thing. And then some of the saving tips that I had, this one was from my cousin, my older cousin, and it's like when he told me, it was like a brainwave. So this is called an FU fund. So if you ever need to leave a house, a job, any sort of situation, you have a large sum of money that you have just sitting over your head and you don't touch it. So for instance, say it could be between 1k to 3k, and whatever, once you get to that target amount, you don't touch it. So if you need to dramatically just leave a job, you can, because you have that bubble over your head protecting you so that you know that you can do stuff. Especially in the time that we're in, we don't know what is around the corner, we don't know what's coming. So those sort of things, those little bubbles of protections are definitely the best thing. So I would encourage everybody to have an FU fund, literally, so you can just get out or do whatever you need to do in that space or in whatever season you're in. And another idea for the more organized people, I can't remember who told me this. I think it was my mum. She told me about one of her colleagues has these like 3 bubbles over her head. So she has like a car fund, which is like just sits over her head, and it's literally like, I don't know, like 1k, 1.5 in there, and she doesn't touch it. So if her car was to break down, if a tire was to blow, if her clutch was to mess up, she just has that there so that she's not like, oh my gosh, I have no money. So she keeps that there. So she has a car fund, and then she has a holiday fund, which is perfect for me because you know I love to travel. So for instance, just continuously putting money in there so that when you're ready to book your holiday, you're not having to use a credit card, or you're not having to use any other form, or just, do you know what I mean? It's just easier. You just pay for what you need to pay for and it's just saved. So you have your car fund, your holiday fund, and then just your everyday savings. Your everyday savings, you put that in every month. So you just keep saving it, you don't touch it. And that segues me into ISAs. ISAs are such a good idea for saving, and I have a quick clip from one of my good friends who's really good with saving, like it's ridiculous, and she has some key points. Her name is Erica, and she is going to tell you a few things about different ISAs.
Hi guys, my name's Erica. I'm currently working for Lloyds Banking Group as a cashier in one of their high street banks. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about ISAs today and tell you what I know. So an ISA stands for an individual savings account. That's just a little fun fact if you wanted to know. Essentially, it's a savings or an investment account where you don't pay tax on the money. There is an allowance for how much you can put in there, which for this tax year is £20,000. You can choose to put in one type of ISA or split it across different ISAs. It's totally up to you. So I said there are different types, but I'm just going to touch up on a few today. So a cash ISA, this is one that most of you know about. It's usually easy access and you can get into it if you need to make withdrawals, and there's usually no penalties. Get this at most of your high street banks. Of course, there are different providers, so do just look around for the best rate. And this is like having a little savings account really, but again, it's tax free. Another option for you is a fixed rate ISA. So this is just a fixed rate of interest. You put the money in for 1 year or 2 or 3 or 5. It varies depending on the provider, and at the end when it matures you'll get the interest, or it will be paid annually depending on how long it is. So this is a good option, but again, there are usually penalties for withdrawing, so if you do need to touch that money, it's probably not the best option for you, but do just look at what that might be, because it does vary between providers. Another option is a stocks and shares ISA. Again, with stocks and shares ISAs, you put your money in the bank and they invest in stocks and shares. Of course, with every investment there is a risk, so if you're not willing to take that risk, this might not be the option for you, but you could have a higher return. So it is another option. There is usually a small fee with some banks, so do just check that before you sign up for one. Another option is a lifetime ISA, or also known as a LISA. This is usually aimed at first time buyers or people save for their pension, so you do need to be aged over 18 or under the age of 40. Essentially the government will put a 25% bonus in there for you, so you can take up to £4,000, which means you could get a £1,000 bonus, which is pretty good. So do have a look into that. Of course, there is again a penalty for withdrawing, which I think is at 20%. So if you need to take that money out, essentially you lose the bonus, but it's a really good option there for those who are saving. I will be on Eden's Live this Sunday talking a bit more about this, so do tune in and I look forward to seeing you all there.
So me and Erica are going to do a live, and she's going to go more in detail about different ways of saving, because I know that the video was quite short. It's very sweet. It just gave you a couple of ideas. Yeah, so I hope that you found this video helpful. I hope it gives you some tips and some key points. The live is going to be even more useful. So yeah, feedback is always welcome, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a blessed week, guys. Bye.